Hello there and welcome to this second part of the rainfall problem. In this video, our job is to convert the pseudocode that you see on your screen into Python code. And we're going to jump straight in and get this done as quick as we possibly can. So I've just got a Visual Studio project open, I've got my IDE ready to go, and I'm just going to start typing the code. So in our pseudocode, we typed rainfall and we had brackets like that and we declared the value of it, etc. Now that won't work in Python. This is not how Python works, so converting pseudocode isn't the same. Rainfall, it doesn't know what it is. In Python, you don't have arrays, you have something called lists, and we use square brackets to denote a list. So what you see on your screen here is that I said there's a rainfall variable. It has assigned a list data structure. So now rainfall is a list. And I'll just declare my other data types as I go through as well. So that's total, which is an integer, and I've got mean, which is a floating point value. So that's my variable set up. Now in Python, we can't say for I equals 0 to 11. We can say for I in range we use instead. So range is a function that basically goes up to but not including a number. So if I type in 12 there, I starts at 0 by default, so it'll go from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then it will go up to 12, but it will not include it. So it stops at 11 in essence. So that should print out all of the I values. So I'm hoping if this works like I think it does, it'll print 0 to 11. And there we go. So you know that this line number 8 is going to loop exactly 12 times. So that's my loop sorted. I need to now get data into my list. Now, because we're using lists and they are dynamic, so they don't have static positions, we don't declare exactly 12 elements, they expand and contract as we need them. And they can take multiple data types as well, Python lists. So to get data into one, you have to say rainfall, which is the name of it, dot append. Now you can see my IDE helping me out here. It says append an object to the end of the list. So yes, okay, append it, and in the brackets you put what you want to actually put in there. So I'm going to need a value in between these brackets, so I need to get that off the user. So I'll say print enter the value for month, comma, I plus 1. Now that will help the user out because it'll say enter the value for month, 0 plus 1 is 1. So it'll say month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, month 5, month 6, month 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, hopefully. Then I'll say val as a temporary variable, and I need an input from the user. Now if I ask the user for the input, that will come in as a string, so I need to cast that to be an integer. So I need it to be a number value, not a string value. And now I've got the data from the user inside val, I'll put val inside there. So those 3 lines of code, that's what the user sees. The user types something in, and then I store what the user's typed in and put it and append it into the array. Now I just want to test to see if I've successfully populated the array. So let's just print out rainfall outside of the loop. So you'll notice the indentation means that it's outside of the loop. So there's no next I in a for loop. Python doesn't have closing conditions. So it's just indentation that tells us. So enter the value for month 1. So I'll put in all the data from the question. You can see here that the array itself has been populated properly and all the numbers are now in the array in the order that I entered them in. So the next thing for us to do now, once I get rid of that, now I've populated them, I need to work out the total. So once I've added one in, total equals total plus what the user entered, which is val, You can see they entered that on line number 9. Then I can calculate the mean value by saying mean equals total divided by 12. And we outputted those next. The total is total, print. The mean is mean. In our pseudocode, we said the months above the mean are, and now we need another loop, don't we? So we use the same method that we used before for I in range 12 colon automatic indentation. Now we need to basically just use an if statement to check to say if rainfall at the position of I is the same, it's not the same, is greater than mean, then we need to output the position that we found it in. Okay. So let's test this out and see what happens. So again, our data goes in. So it says there that the total is 1230, which is correct as to our test data that we've been provided in the question. The mean is 102.5, and the months above the mean are 0, 1, 9, 10, and 11. Now, obviously, that's not correct because I didn't put I plus 1. So that's why we test to make sure that our outputs are correct, because the user doesn't know what month 0 is, and this is technically December, and this is technically February. So what we need to do is we need to just test this again to double check that we've got it all correct now. We've made a slight change to our code. And there we go. So you can see that now we've got all the correct outputs as per the test data provided in the question. And that is how we've converted our pseudocode into Python. There's a few subtle changes there, but it's not a million miles away. So I hope you found it useful, and I hope you join me in the next video.